Hi everyone and good morning and welcome to this week's yoga practice. This is Julie from Totally Holistic Health and it's good to see you again. Today I wanted to just basically share a really nice practice for on a chair. A lot of people tend to think that, because they have maybe sort of illnesses or they're very, very tired or, they have injuries like knee injuries or back injuries or this type of things like fibromyalgia and things like that. They just think, I can't actually do yoga. But to be honest with you, yoga is really, really suitable for everybody. It's just trying to find your sort of niche and just trying to find sort of certain postures that really, really suit you. So again, it's really, really nice to just have a little bit of a practice, sort of, you can do it on a chair, you can do it, there's lots of supported practices that you can do. So I'm just going to sort of maybe sort of show you a few options that you can actually use yourself and just to try out. So we need a chair. If you've got a yoga mat, it would be useful because it just stops, just gives you a little bit of extra support. So if you've got a blanket or a pillow, that's absolutely fantastic as well. So we're going to start off in a seated posture on a chair. So just try to, again, if you're coming away from the back of the chair a little bit, just so that you've got more of an upright posture, so you're not actually sitting into the chair a little bit more. So again, we're using the core a little bit here. If that's comfortable for you, if you do feel you need a bit of support of the chair, again, that's absolutely fine. But if you can sort of come forward a little bit and just engage that core a little bit to have that lovely upright posture. And again, just imagining you've got that lovely thread coming out the top of the head, pulling the head over the heart and the heart over the pelvis. I'm just going to just take a few minutes just to really check into the breath. So either hands onto the tops of the legs is absolutely fine, or you can bring the hands just towards the belly. And again, just checking into the breath and seeing how that feels. And just really noticing any sensations inside as well. So it's really nice. Yoga really is really more, it's not a competitive thing, and you tend to find that if if you go to sort of like quite a fast class, you don't sort of feel what you're supposed to feel. It's very much it's more of an exercise workout. You don't really sort of understand the nuances of what's actually going on in the body. So sometimes it's actually really nice just to slow it down a little bit. And I sometimes do yoga in a chair if I'm feeling a little bit tired. So again, it's a really nice one for people who are a little bit tired. So again, just really noticing how you're feeling inside. So notice if you've got any butterflies in your tummy, or just any sensations you can feel. Just taking those couple of moments out, noticing whether your neck is tight, your shoulders are tight, if you've got any discomfort in your back, just connecting into how your body actually feels today. Just absorbing that breath as it moves in and out of the body. And maybe bringing one hand onto the belly and one hand onto the heart centre. Again, that's actually a really nice way of connecting with how you're actually feeling now. So just really taking those few moments just to actually notice what feelings you can actually feel inside. Also quite nice just to sort of notice your emotions as well, whether you're sort of feeling, quite uplifted, whether you're feeling a little bit downbeat. But again, just really checking into how you're feeling. That's equally as important as actual physical practice. Wonderful. Okay, that's fantastic. So we're just going to start off just by mobilising the spine a little bit. So you can put your hands on your knees if you want to. So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring the belly forward and the chest forward and just feel that lovely arch in the back. And then just arching away. So what I'm going to turn the chair around just to show you what it looks like from the side. So coming onto the front of the chair. So we're going to bring the chest forward. So we've got that lovely arch in the back. And then arching away. So you're just really dipping the belly back towards the spine. Just noticing that we stretch in the shoulders. And then coming forward again. It's quite nice to bring the breath in as well, so maybe breathing out as you're coming forward, and breathing in as you're coming back. Or whichever way suits you, to be fair. do too much about the breath today, just really noticing how that feels in the body, just doing what you want to do, whether you want to breathe in or out in various different places, but just really using this to mobilise the spine. And again, if there's any discomfort anywhere on the back or the shoulders, obviously just having that awareness as well, just really noticing how that feels and not overstretching. It's really just a case of learning how your body feels in each different pose. Again, this is a really nice way of just mobilising that spine. And of course, actually, if you're working at a desk as well, it's a really nice one to do at your desk. I'm just going to turn the chair around so it's facing towards you. So we're going to add a little bit of a twist in now. So again, keeping the knees where they need to be. You can bring them slightly wider if that suits you, or slightly narrower. We're just going to bring the arms above the head. So again, if you've got restrictions in the shoulders, you might just find having your arms a little bit wider is absolutely fine. Or if you want to, you can bring the arms above the head. But again, whatever suits you. So very gently, we're going to twist around to the right. And then bring the left hand onto the outside of the right knee. And then just bring the right arm either onto the back of the chair or just onto the back of the seat of the chair. Just very gently twisting round. So what we're trying to do here is just you twist around the belly. So I'm not trying to crank the neck around or anything like that. But if you do feel your neck's fine to turn round, just see if you can look over your right shoulder. And then coming back to centre, and then again just noticing how that feels in the body. Just taking it really slow and gentle. And then bringing the arms by the side, breathing in again and up. So again, either into more cactus arms, into wide arms, or again above the head, depending on how your shoulders feel. It doesn't really matter. And just twisting round to the left, so bringing the right hand onto the outside of the left knee and the left arm either on the back of the chair or just on the seat of the chair. And again, just twisting round, again, just using the belly to twist round. So you can just leave it so the head stays in line with the spine, or if you want to, you can turn the head and look over the left shoulder. But again, only if that really suits you. If you've got a stiff neck, you might not want to do that. Again, this is a really gentle practice, so just, listen to what your body's telling you. And come back to centre. Wonderful. So we're going to release the neck a little bit now. So we're going to bring the chin down towards the chest. So again, this really should be more of an extension of the spine. So you really find it's energising the back of the body. So don't sort of crank the neck down towards the chest, because that really is going to hurt your neck. So it's really just trying to keep that lovely upright posture and just bringing the chin down as far as it will actually go. And using the breath again, trying to keep those shoulder blades down, so we're not trying to bring the shoulders up towards the ears, we're just really trying to just release those shoulders down, to give us a little bit of space. And then we're going to roll the right ear onto the right shoulder. And again, noticing any sort of tension there on the left hand side. You might find it in the back of the neck, or it might just feel fine, but again, just trying to have that little bit of a space between the ears and the shoulders. And using the breath really gently, really slowly, just listening and checking into how you're feeling. And then I'm going to bring the chin back down to the chest. And then bringing the left ear onto the left shoulder. Use that breath, really noticing how that feels on the right side of the neck, also on the left side as well. But again, making sure those shoulders are right down the back. And again, you can just really take this time just to listen into what your body's telling you. And then bring the chin back down to the chest. And then bringing the head up. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to turn the chair around now, because obviously you'll just be having your chair in one place, you'll be moving it at all. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a very gentle standing pose. So again, obviously we've got the chair for support, so if you do have issues with your knees, or you find you're quite tired, having the chair is really, really nice. What you can do is obviously have the chair faced around the other way, so you've got the back of the chair facing you as well, so it gives you a bit of extra height. But if you're okay in terms of having the seat here, that's absolutely fine. So we're going to come up into standing really slowly, and then turning round to face the chair. So we're going to bring the knee or the feet as nice and wide as the mat, maybe just a little bit in front of the mat, or maybe further away, depending on how that suits you, bending the knees. Okay, so we're going to just have a lovely tilt to the pelvis, bringing the chest forward. I'm just going to bring the hands onto the chair. And again, just see how that feels. And if you can, bring the forearms onto the chair. And then just bending the knees just to protect the back. Just again seeing how that feels in this position. Again, you might want to move the feet slightly further back, moving the blanket out of the way. And then just maybe, if you're feeling okay, dropping the head between the arms, if that suits you. Or if that's too much, again, just bringing the feet slightly closer. And then just resting down here. Again, if your back hurts, just bending the knees a little bit more. Or again, if you've got the other side, the chair is facing the other way around, you're going to be a little bit higher up. So you might find that this is a little bit more comfortable for you. And again, just trying to have a lovely straight back though, keeping the core nice and strong, so bringing the belly back towards the spine. So engaging that core a little bit more, just to give your back a bit of support. Just really letting the body just really sink into this. So just enjoying that sensation. So a nice elongation of the front of the body here. Just really notice how that feels. And again, if you're really tired, this might just be all you want to do. And very gently coming back up. Really slowly, really carefully, again, just noticing how you're feeling with yourself. I'll turn the chair out again. Right, okay, so we're going to come into more of a seated pose now. So again, using the chair for support, coming down very, very gently. Okay, so I'm going to pop the blanket underneath our bottoms. So again, it just helps raise the bottom up a little bit. So we can come into a cross-legged position if that suits you. If you find your knees are up here, you might find it's easier just to bring your legs a little bit wider of the chair. That might be a little bit more comfortable. Also, it's quite nice because you can just come forward a little bit. So again, depending on where you are, if you've got your legs crossed, you might find that the chair needs to be slightly further away. If your legs are more open, again, you might find it's easier having it closer. So again, I'll do it for both options. So having the legs crossed, sitting on your nice blanket, you're just going to rest your forehead onto the chair. And again, you might also want a blanket here as well. And if you want to, you can stretch your arms out and just really sinking into the chair. And again, also you can move that slightly further away as well. You come a little bit further forward. But also here it's quite good because you'll actually notice you've got like a little bit of tightness maybe on the inside of the thighs, but also just having that awareness of how that feels. And also you might find that in the lower back as well a little bit. But if you've got issues with the knees, again, just bringing the knees, the legs slightly wide, and just coming forward, bringing the chair a bit closer. And again, just really letting the whole of the body sink in to the chair. And the good thing is you've got this lovely support of the chair, so it's just really nice just to acknowledge the fact that you have that support, that it's just there, just giving you all the help that you need. Use the breath. Also, if you're finding you're feeling happy here, you know, just maybe try just opening the legs a little bit more. Again, if that suits you, it doesn't really matter. This is your practice, and the thing is just doing what feels right for you. So you might find that this suits you as well, but just, having the knees bent a little bit as you're coming forward. And the thing with staying in a posture nice and long, it's just really, you find that all the muscles relax a little bit more. So if you use the breath and just really just stay in the posture a little bit more, it just really, it's just lovely. again, just notice how that feels in the arms. You might want to bring the arms down a little bit if that's a bit sore, and just rest onto, get a nice blanket on here, just rest your head onto a blanket if your shoulders feel a little bit tired. And very gently coming up from there. So again, either keeping the legs nice and straight. I'm just going to bring the hands behind us. And just bring the shoulder blades together. Just really open up the chest. A very, very gentle back bend. Again, it's nice just to bring the shoulder blades together. Not too strong, just really how that feels for you. Try and keep the head in line with the spine rather than bringing the head right back. And again, just really use the breath. Again, you can have the knees bent a little bit if that suits you. Again, it just really doesn't matter too much, it's really what suits you. And then coming back. Okay, so we're going to turn around onto our side. So we're going to come into more of a straddle pose. So we're going to bring the legs into this sort of position if that suits you. Again, try and keep the bum nice and on the floor. I'm going to bring the right hand to the side. And then either keeping your left hand onto that hip if your shoulders are a bit restricted, or if you do feel okay with your shoulders, bringing your arm overhead and just bending the right elbow as you're just opening up to the left side. Again, you can keep that arm straight if you want to, if your arms aren't that strong. You can also come to the forearms actually as well, that's quite nice. It's a slightly stronger stretch. But again, it's quite nice, or you can keep the hand onto the hip. But what we're trying to do is just really open up the side body. And just noticing how that feels there. And then very gently coming out of that. Again, really slowly moving the legs to the other side. Moving the chair out of the way so I don't whack my head. And again, just get yourself nicely adjusted first, just get yourself into a nice comfortable position. Bring the left hand onto the mat next to you and the right hand onto the hip. So again, if you can, just bending that left elbow, so you're just opening up to the side body. Again, or you can come onto the forearms. Again, just notice that lovely stretch in the right side. And if your arms or your shoulders feeling okay, bring the arm overhead. But again, it's a bit restricted. I mean, that's quite tight for me this morning. I'm just going to keep my arm down. But you might find in the future, if you do this a little bit more, you might find that one morning your arms can go up there, or it might just want to stay where it is. And again, come back up to centre. And again, really gently, again, listening to your body. Don't over-rush anything, just really, really carefully. So now we're going to come back to our chair. So we're going to come onto our bottoms now. Sorry, we're on our bottoms, we're going to come onto the side. So we're going to have the blanket, we're going to put that under our bottom in a minute. So we're going to very gently come onto our backs, really slowly. And then bring the legs onto the chair. So again, it's nice to have a blanket. So what you can do is just pop it underneath your bottom. So it just raises the hips just a little bit, it's a little bit more comfortable, or you could obviously put it underneath your head. And again, just really just allow the body just to relax down. And again, this is a beautiful restorative pose. I mean, you can bring your hands onto the belly and into the heart centre, and just really just become aware of the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Also feeling that connection to the earth as well, because it's nice because you're really, really supported by the earth. Just allow with each breath just to release into the floor. And again, this is a beautiful pose to do before you go to bed because it's a really restorative pose. So again, you can do this, it will help you sleep because all the blood supply tends to go to the head, so it's really relaxing. And again, you're taking the pressure off the lower back a little bit as well, and also off the core muscles as well. So again, it's just a nice chance just to release everything down. And again, just really opening up the chest. And again, you can stay here as long as you like, it's such a lovely pose. And not forgetting, this is your time as well on the mat, so nobody else wants anything from you. You don't need to be anywhere, so this is your time. So just really make sure that you do use it wisely, but just really nurture the body and just enjoy those lovely sensations of relaxation. So again, just staying here as long as you need to. So again, if you're doing this practice, what you might want to do is just pause the video and just stay here as long as you need to. Or if you feel you need to get on with your day, but you're nicely relaxed and chilled or ready for bed, very gently just bring the knees up towards the chest and just rocking a little bit from side to side. And then very gently moving your knees over to the right side or the left side, depending on where your chair is, and then coming up really carefully up to a nice seated pose. And again, just really noticing when you're sitting upright, just how you're actually feeling now. And you should have a lovely sense of just that nice peace and calm. Really savouring that lovely feeling. So thank you so much for joining me today, and just really enjoying this lovely nurturing practice for your yoga today. Thank you so much. Namaste.